Hello guys, NautoAce here. It's gonna be part 3 or bonus, whatever you choose. And basically I want to give my thoughts on the current status, the current situation with the Power Rangers show, the big franchise itself. So I already talked about the toys. Bandai's no longer the license holder in 2019. Hasbro's taking over. And it's gonna be related to the show because the reason also why the toys don't sell because the show basically were decided to say sucking. So what happened there? So a little bit brief history is that in 1993 it debuted the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. You know, you got Jason, Trini, bless her soul, Billy, Kimberly, Tommy. If you know the actor's name, yeah. They were basically the foundation that created what Power Ranger is. You know, it's an adaptation of Super Sentai, starting with Jew Ranger. Super Sentai has been long since 1975 with Go Ranger, but again, different story. We're just going to focus on Power Ranger because I'll explain that in a bit later. Excuse me. So, of course, throughout the year, they were doing a season. Power Ranger Season 2, which is Die Ranger. Season 3 for Mighty Morphin was Kako Ranger. And then CEO. And then, you know, that if you're a Super Sentai fan or Power Ranger fan, then you can understand the order. So, the Saban era, they call it, because Saban owned the rights. But what happened was throughout, I think, by Wild Force, is there was some financial problem with Saban to a point he really couldn't hold the license, the rights to a lot of the show, including Power Ranger. So Power Ranger was sold off to Disney for a while. So Disney basically bought the rights for Power Ranger, starting with Ninja Storm all the way to RPM. Alright, so my thoughts on the Saban era shows, they were actually good. They were actually good, they were original. As like it's not a straight translation to the Japanese, exception for two shows. Time Force and Wild Force. But but again, you might say, "Oh, that's kind of stupid. That's not original." I want like if I wanted to watch something like that, I'll just try to watch the original show. True, but there was a little bit of like minor differences, but it worked. It worked. Time Force and Wild Force kind of worked. But again, before that, let's just say Lightspeed Rescue and all the way before, it was a lot of original story. But apparently, for like I said, there was a financial problem to a point. They had to sold it off. So starting with Ninja Storm all the way to RPM, when Disney basically took control of the show, it's a lot of them were very, very different. Believe it or not, like it has nothing to do with the Super Sentai storyline, which is, I guess, it's a good thing. I'll explain that. So it has its own original slide, original village to some extent, but it's not just a retranslate of the Super Sentai. But however, even so, and in my opinion also, the Disney Power Rangers, the stories were actually good. Like RPM actually was good, believe it or not. It was actually good. The idea behind it, rather than you go to multiple worlds, let's see, Engine Soul talking. Well, I like the talking car, but Engine Soul or I can't even remember. But I don't know what I didn't really follow Engine or Goanger because that was like a stupid show. Excuse me. So anyway, it has the RPM version was Mad Max. Again, it was like in the future. It was a post-apocalyptic world. Again, it was original. But even so, the problem is it was also catering to the West. Is that the ratings were low, people were not watching them, it was like, I guess, quote unquote, boring to some extent. I mean, heck, one of the episodes in RPM basically did a behind the scene of how the show was being made. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Whatever. So, again, yeah, to a point that Disney gave up on the franchise, putting it on a vault because they still have the license. I think they still have the license for a couple of years, from what I heard. Again, I could be wrong. And yeah, like there won't be any more Power Ranger. Like they tried to revamp Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, and that failed. The toys weren't selling. Bandai's not even doing squat because if it doesn't sell, why do you do toys for the fans? So basically, because of it, people thought all hope are lost and there's no more Power Ranger until Saban decided, I guess either one, they had some money back and bought back the rights to the Power Ranger. That's why they call it the Neo-Saban era. And this is, a lot of people are complaining that maybe Disney should just keep the rights to the Power Ranger because Saban is basically being a cheapskate, and the quality is even worse than the Disney one. I mean, I could agree with that. Maybe it's true, but this is hard to basically try to argue. Is, yeah, I mean, Disney could keep it, but they gave up the right. They gave up on the Power Ranger after RPM. They were just going to put it in the vault and just left it there until the license get expired. Again, it could be 2 or 3 years. Who knows? So the rumor that I heard is that Saban bought the rights to the Power Ranger while Disney still have the license active. And when you do that, that costs a lot of money. Even so, well, they're not doing anything about it. True. But at the same time, is that they still have the license. They still have the right. They could say, "Oh, we're gonna go back to it. We're gonna revise the show, whatever." Which, of course, they won't. But again, Saban bought the right. It probably was very expensive. Again, I could be wrong, but that's from what I heard. That's what I heard in the internet. So, I mean, one of the Morphicon, Paul Schrader, aka Bulk, was in a panel about Super Samurai, because he was also in Super Samurai. Sorry, the super part is stupid. I'll explain that later. But anyway, you got the Samurai Power Ranger Samurai Shikenger, and he said that if it wasn't for Saban, Power Ranger would be done. Yeah, it may be sucky. Maybe they don't have a lot of money, but who do you want him to sell it to? To Warner Brothers? Hey, if Disney doesn't believe in it, what makes Warner Brothers do this? Do this something different? I don't know. Excuse me. Yeah, so I kind of agree that he kind of sucky, but at the same time, that if Saban didn't buy Power Ranger from Disney, then there wouldn't be more Power Ranger. And if you say, well, maybe Power Ranger's not worth it in America, well, I don't know, man. I really don't know. But at least there's Power Ranger. For crying out loud, when oh my gosh, when the news broke about Saban buying back the Power Ranger, oh my god, for crying out loud. There was a news segment on Good Day LA, California, with Steve Edwards and those stuff, but, I used to watch that, but 2000 and, I can't remember what year it is. Oh my gosh, they had a news segment of Power Rangers making a comeback. That's sort of kind of big deal when a news talking about a kids show that only kids know about it. You're making a news. My goodness, that's weird. I mean, yeah, I watched that segment. Yes, the cast of samurais were there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, a news segment. I mean, it's kind of equivalent to some extent when people talk about the Switch, the NES Classic Mini, or the SNES Classic Mini on Channel 5 with rich tech guy DeMero, whatever his name is. I have no idea his name is. When non-fans show a news, which is basically for the general viewers, talk about something that you like, that's a big deal to some extent. I'm just saying there. So, yeah, I mean, that's sort of a big deal when Good Day LA had a segment for Power Ranger. It was weird. But, yeah. Alright, so, but again, from there, Power Rangers back good. But, yeah, the show wasn't, Samurai, I have to say, wasn't really that good per se because, yeah, Samurai Super Samurai was definitely a straight translation to Shikenger, which just kind of sucked. I know there was an interview they asked the Red Ranger who plays Jaden. They asked him, is it the same as Shikenger? The guy basically said, no, it's not. I mean, he probably could say it subjectively, but there was a lot of a bit minor changes, difference, but still, it's like, yeah, this is really just watching an American version of Shikenger. And the reason is the producer, which is Jonathan Zactor, I think that's the guy's name, because his idea was to basically just use the Super Sentai script, make it Americanized. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I'm like, it was like 50. I have to give it a C. I mean, the only good thing about Samurai is, beside Bulk and Skull made an appearance in the end, is Jaden's master is a famous actor. He was in a lot of shows, but the one I can think of the top of my head is The Matrix. He was in The Matrix. So you got that big guy, popular guy, he's in The Matrix. So yeah, they got big actor name on Power Ranger. You got that guy, Master G again, Master G, whatever his name is. The guy was in Matrix. And then I just remembered this in Wild Force. Okay, that's about an era. There was another famous actor. I think he made an appearance in the Scorpion King with The Rock. I'm not gonna say the brain, but famous actor also, supposed to be the dad of the White Wild Force Ranger. Again, just putting it out there. So I mean, there's a little bit good thing. You got famous actor basically being part of the show. I mean, Master G, for crying out loud, that's the guy from Matrix. He was in Matrix. He's in Power Rangers. So, but anyway, the story with Super Samurai was. And then, of course, it got really worse with Megaforce and Super Megaforce, because they used two theme to make it one season, and I'm going to explain it because I was so flippin' stupid. Gosenker and Gogaiger. And Gogaiger is one of my all-time favorite Super Sentai. Pirate, 35th anniversary, that's why. But, oh my god, the American version was okay. I mean, it is a bit different. It is a homage to Mighty Morphin, especially Megaforce, since the homage color is the same one as Power Ranger, which is Zyuranger, which is blue, red, pink, yellow, and black. It was the same thing with Gosenker or Megaforce. But the stories was just, oh crap. Alright, I'm sorry to say, it's really crap. One good thing about that, I can say only one good thing is Gosei, okay? I know people said Gosei suck, but look at Gosei. Well, Gosei basically supposed to be an apprentice of Zordon, so, basically a homage to the big giant head thing, which I really don't know what the back history of that one, but whatever. Oh, and spoiler also, if you want to know what happened to Zordon in Power Rangers Space, he sacrificed himself to save everyone. Whatever. Best not to think about a lot of this lore. But, yeah, Gosei was supposed to be the apprentice. Now, he's not the new sort of a headmaster. And the funny thing is, he's basically a giant version of those Morpher. In Japan, Master Gosei or Header, whatever, I forget the name, supposed to be the man of the sky in Power Rangers term, because remember Gosei, the angel, but whatever. Just a giant rock, like one of those ancient Aztec rock thing. But in America, okay, so I have to give props. That's actually, in my opinion, sort of interesting. Giant Morpher head. I don't like Tenso because it's a stupid robot. I thought it would be the arcade, but no, they couldn't have the right. See, that's the problem also. And the reason, that's also the problem with Megaforce was, yeah, Saban admitted that they did not pay for the right for the quote-unquote the arcade, because that's basically only in Japan. They didn't have the right, they didn't have the permission. And that kind of made the show suck, because, I would like to see the arcade, but whatever. Again, story was kind of cheesy, sucky. Alright, so when it got so bad, people said, oh my god. So, then, of course, Dino Charge, which is Zyuranger, not Zyuranger, but Koryuger, basically. Yeah, so if you're a Super Sentai fan, a lot of people complain that, why did they skip Go Buster to Dino Charge or Koryuger? And apparently there was a rumor that either Toei told Bandai of Japan, told Bandai of America, told Saban that we need to have the toy. We need the toys to sell. That's what I'm trying to say. I do apologize. I've been doing this, whatever, rambling too much. Do apologize. I'm a bit sick also. So what I'm trying to say here, so let me try this again, is they want the toys guaranteed to sell, because Go Buster in Japan, believe it or not, kind of suck. I mean, in my opinion, probably would work in America because Spy Movie was based in America, but they said no. Let's go with dinosaur, which of course in Japan, kid likes dinosaur. Yeah, kids in America likes dinosaur, but spy movies probably makes more sense in my opinion. But they were told by the very high upper management or Toei to skip it, go to Dino Charge, and hopefully the toy sell, which sort of, but again the toy scrap. I did talk about it before, and then they skip again to the Ninja, which is Ninja Steel. Again, story wise, it wasn't really that. Oh my gosh, it's not really that entertaining to watch, and having another bulk and skull type character there, it's really. I'm sorry to say, kind of cheesy. Victor and Monty. I try to watch it, but I'm like, dude. I mean, it is good. That it's not the same as the Japanese counterpart. It has its own storyline. That is good, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe I'm just getting too old. So, of course, there you go. The ratings becoming down, down. I think Dino Charger have a good story, ratings, but Ninja Steel, yeah, it was bad. With that, I'm gonna stop here and continue this story more my opinion about the Power Ranger series in general in part 2. Of course, such as if you notice, ever since Power Rangers Samurai, there was like 2 seasons: Samurai, Super Samurai, and then Mega Force, Super Mega Force. You kind of see the pattern there, and I'm gonna explain that on part 2. Do I think it's a good thing, bad thing, and my overall opinion of the Power Ranger, and of course the new seasons are gonna come in 2019. So with that, stay tuned.